What's up, guys? Just wanted to talk about Conor McGregor. The question is going around that what's next for him? You know, what's the next fight? A lot of the MMA guys in the media, you know, guys like Chael Sonnen and Ariel Helwani and you know, a lot of the pundits from MMA, all of MMA, asking what's next for the guy. He just recently beat Cowboy Cerrone, and it looks like his intention, Conor's intention is to get the 155 belt back. And from what he says, he wants to get it in a rematch with Khabib Nurmagomedov. Look, in a perfect world, I think that what McGregor would do is take a few contenders at 155, a few top contenders. Justin Gaethje comes to mind. I think that would be a great matchup. Two tough guys that like to stand up. I think Conor has a pretty good chance of beating Justin Gaethje, and Gaethje equally has a good chance of beating Conor McGregor. That would be a great fight, I think. If Conor were up to climb that ladder again, that would be an ideal fight. Beat Gaethje and then beat one more guy. But let's say he beats Gaethje. I mean, it would make a better argument for him to get that rematch that Dana White and UFC are pushing for right now. So in a perfect world, that would be great for him to climb that ladder. I don't think Cerrone counts. Cerrone hasn't fought at 155 and hasn't cared about 155 in a while, in a long while. They fought at 170, and the way I looked at it is they didn't want to make weight. They didn't want to deal with cutting weight. So they fought at 155. I mean at 170. Dana White accommodated Conor McGregor in that sense. He always does. There's a lot of preference, a lot of privilege, a lot of favoritism going on when it comes to McGregor. I understand that he's a cash machine. He brings the ratings, he brings the eyes, he brings the fans. So there is, you know, he gets some preferential treatment. I don't like it, but I get it, you know. So in a perfect world, that would be it. He will climb that ladder again. But the way it's going on in our world, which is not perfect, as you know, he beat Cerrone, and Dana White and everybody else, they're pushing for this rematch. Mostly everyone else, you know. The purists not so much, but the guys that are into the show, into the circus type fights, into the hype, into the controversy, and WWE style type of fighting, you know, with the verbal wars and all that stuff, they would love to see that match again. But the way it is set up right now, Khabib cannot overlook Tony Ferguson. That's who he has right now, challenging for his belt. That's the fight coming up. That's the fight that UFC should be hyping up, instead of going around asking who's next for Conor McGregor and Conor McGregor should get the rematch. I think it's disrespectful. I think it's disrespectful to Tony Ferguson, because they're overlooking him. Whenever they mention it, they don't really go into scenario where Tony beats Khabib, which is very possible. It's very possible. I think Tony is the best matchup for Khabib right now, and has a more than 50% chance of beating Khabib. He has that grinding style, he has the cardio, he has the ground game, he has that determination, he has that unpredictable style that could give fits to Khabib. Khabib likes to wrestle, he likes to grapple, he likes to grind it out, and I think Ferguson more than likely is going to oblige, and it's going to be a great fight. So you can't overlook Ferguson. Ferguson might as well could well win that fight. And you know, how is is Conor in line to fight Ferguson or Khabib at this point? He hasn't fought. You know, Justin Gaethje makes a better argument. He's been fighting, he's been winning, and winning fights should count for something in MMA. I think you climb that ladder, you make it count. You know, don't rely on the past glories. And besides, Conor McGregor, when he was champion, he never defended his belts. He never granted rematches. So I think the double standard that is played with him, it's annoying. It's just crazy. I think that he should take 2 more fights at 155. Preferably, I would love to see him maybe against Felder and against Gaethje. Those are 2 fighters that are just awesome stand-up fighters, which Conor McGregor could have great fights with. Beating those 2 savages, I think then yeah, Conor is in line for a featherweight championship fight again. I don't see him really interested. I think that's just him talking in the welterweight picture. Usman is a monster. That's just no good matchup for him at all. But I'm not gonna get into it. I'm just saying right now that what's next for Conor McGregor? If I would love to see, as the purist that I am in the sport, I always believe that climbing that ladder and working your way up is the best way to make matchups. I think he needs to beat 2 savages at 155 right now. Not rely on the past glories, on the past hypes. He hasn't won a fight in a long time at 155, man. And Cerrone, yeah, it was, I commented on that fight. That was a whack fight. Let's see it, man. Let's see it, But for rematching against Khabib, right now, I don't think he deserves it. I don't think he deserves it. Let me know what you think about my mini rant, and thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me. Thank you. Peace.